couple of months ago, I did a quick video on the unboxing of this Garmin EchoMap UHD 64CV. And I purchased this to install on my 2022 Hobie Compass. Now, one of the issues with the installation is this UHD setup has a GT-24UHD transducer, which is considerably larger than most of the transducers that come with Garmin units, like the small strikers, and it's not set up to be used with the Lowrance plate. So as a quick fix, I modified the Lowrance plate, I'll show that in a few seconds, to mount it externally. It works fine, but it's not the best solution because obviously it's exposed to the elements. So I've subsequently done some research. You actually can go to the Garmin site and they will have the specs for all the different transducers, the exact sizes. And I used that information and went to the Burley Pro site and matched up the Burley Pro transducer mount to that transducer, and it's model number B as in boy, P as in Peter, 2606. This is it here. So this video, I'll show you how it's hooked up. So quickly, this is how I modified the existing Lowrance mount. Little hole there, matched up before mounting inserts. That's pretty much how I set it up, and it works fine. But again, if you look closely, you can see just from a little bit of usage, you know, it's exposed, so it's going to get scuffed up. So the Burley Pro mount, it's two pieces with some hardware. And actually my hardware package was opened, so I don't know that this is the exact hardware that comes with it, but I'm going to make the assumption that it is. So you have a mounting plate that does match up perfectly. Let's see if that comes across. And this will be mounted to the Lowrance mount on the kayak, and then the cover goes over it like that. And I've already trial fitted, it works perfect. So some of the hardware, again, these are the extended mounting screws that came with the hardware. They're about a 1/4 inch longer than the stock screw. And then you just use the Garmin hardware for the transducer. I think these are 1032s. And I'm also going to use two spacers. I'll show you why in a second. These are 0.0194 inside diameter. They're 3/16 of an inch thick and a 1/2 inch diameter. And I'll show you in a few seconds how I use them. So here it is. Transducer is mounted to the plate using the stock Garmin screws. Actually, I guess I could add another one. I didn't see that. And it fits right there in the cavity. And the protective cover fits over it. So what I was talking about with the spacers, if you notice right here, there's just about just under a 1/4 inch gap between where that back section fits. And that's because, again, this is against the hull. Front, you can use the stock screw with no problem. And you can use the stock screw here, but I choose to put spacers here so we're not distorting the plastic case, and it works fine, and that protects it. Actually, this can take a side scan transducer. You have, as you can see, quite a bit of space back here, so I would think this cover will pretty much fit any transducer you're going to install, whether it's a Garmin, Lowrance, or there you have it. Nice and sturdy, protected. Space for water to flow back both here, there, so you have a good signal pickup. And that's how it looks on my compass. Again, this is a 2022 compass, so it's the latest model. But transducer cavity is identical. I have a 2019 Outback. I have a Passport. Passports don't have a cavity, but it's the universal Lowrance cavity. That'll work with no problem at all. So on my previous video, I had some comments about how I mount the GPS to the kayak. So the compass has two H tracks, does not have an H rail. My Outback has an H rail, and I use this on both of them. So basically my setup is an H track setup with a ram mount, adapted ram mount to the bottom. Use the adjustment, you can get different lengths, and then it basically sits in the H track like this. And that's how I mount mine. And I use the same setup on my other kayaks. I have two strikers. I think they're 4 CVs. So a little smaller, obviously they're 4-inch. This is 7-inch. And I can also use the H-rail adapter. So that's how it works. And I have to say, I really do like this Garmin unit. Sonars, even though I'm here in Florida on the East Coast, don't have, where I've kayaks not too deep, but clarity is very well. I'll use this also on Long Island, and I expect that it'll be, I have a similar chirp setup on one of my strikers. It's not the ultra high definition, but it's pretty good, and I would expect this would even be better. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or any comments, always looking for comments, please leave them below, and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible. And I appreciate your taking time to look at it, and have a good day.